Lesson 12. The Trans-Theoretical Model of Behaviour Change. In this lesson, we will be looking at the stages of change and determining your client's stage of change and/or readiness to change. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the trans-theoretical model of behaviour change and outline the stages of change, and describe how to identify a client's readiness to change. When a person decides to change their behaviour, they go through a number of stages before they actually succeed in making that change. The trans-theoretical model of behaviour change is a system that has been devised by behaviour psychologists to help us identify what stage a person may be at, so that we can then make the appropriate interventions to motivate them and also to help them to maintain that change. This model, also known as the stages of change, describes a series of stages which individuals go through when making a behaviour change. There are 6 stages in the cycle, ranging from pre-contemplation, when a person is not even considering changing, to maintenance, when the individual has made the behavioural change and has succeeded in continuing the new behaviour then for a period of time. At each stage, the individual is thinking and feeling differently about their behaviour, and they will find then that specific intervention will be helpful in moving them on to the next stage. Research has found that helping people progress just through one stage can double their chances of successful behavioural change in the near future. So let's look at the stages of change. The first stage is pre-contemplation. At this stage, the person is not interested in making any change to their behaviour. Any advice that will be given to them will go in one ear and out the other, or they may be consciously intending not to change. There may be an element of fear here in that they are afraid of failure if they try. The second stage is contemplation. At this point, the person is considering making a change to a particular behaviour. For example, they might think that it's time that they should start to do something in the next 6 months. Maybe I should start to exercise. Or if I don't lose weight, maybe health problems may develop. People can often spend quite a long time in this stage. They are thinking about making the change, but they are also considering what they may have to give up in order to make the change. So they are basically weighing up the pros and cons. The next stage then is preparation. At this stage, the person has made a serious commitment to change. They are putting in place plans that will actually help them to make the change. For example, they may have inquired about classes in their area, or if they need a babysitter, they have inquired about somebody who may be able to babysit. It might also include finding out about what it is that they need to do before they start exercising, and so on. The fourth stage then is action. This is the stage now at which behaviour change is initiated. In terms of exercise, the person may be engaged in regular physical activity, but will have been doing it for less than 6 months. So they are basically the starter or the novice exerciser. At this stage, it is still a high risk that that person could still drop off at any time. The fifth stage then is maintenance. Here now, the change in behaviour has been sustained. We have the stayer exerciser. At this stage, a person will have been engaged in regular activity and will have been doing so for more than 6 months. The last stage then is relapse. So this is the stop-start client. The change behaviour has been discontinued, maybe temporarily, possibly maybe due to an injury, or it could be a more permanent relapse in that the person has lost interest or other issues have arisen which have prevented the person from continuing. People move through these stages at different rates, and they can move forward and back the continuum a number of times, or they can even skip stages before maintaining the behaviour change. Research has found that helping people progress just through one stage can double their chances of successful behavioural change in the near future. In order to help our clients move from one stage to the next, we need first of all to be able to determine what stage our client is in at this particular time. A simple questionnaire has been developed which can help us to determine our client's stage of change. This questionnaire is the most common one used for determining a client's stage of change. It consists of 4 questions based around a person's activity levels and whether or not these activities are carried out on a regular basis. Physical activity is defined, as is what it means for activity to be regular. So if a person answers no, they score themselves 0, and if they answer yes to a question, they score 1. When all 4 questions have been answered, then the results can be used to determine the client's stage of change. This is done by using this scoring algorithm. So if a person scored 0 to question 1 and 0 to question 2, then they're at stage 1. If they scored 0 to question 1, but they scored 1 for question 2, then they're at stage 2, and so on. So by looking at how they answered these questions, we can get a reasonably accurate idea of the stage of change that the person is at. Once we have determined this, we can then decide on our own actions or what interventions we can make in order to help the person move along to the next stage. To review the